Welcome to the No Name Yacht Podcast. That is the podcast with no name. And on tonight's show is the man who prefers a corn dog to a corn maze. The other guy on the show, Mo.
Now you're just making stuff up.
That's right.
I've never eaten a corn dog around you in my entire life. Not in front of you. I've had a corn dog, but I've never eaten one around you, and I don't like them. I don't eat hot dogs. I don't swallow glizzies.
Did you like going to that corn maze that we went to last fall?
Oh, yeah, I loved it.
Okay, all right.
It's something I would. It's a fun thing. I feel like I would definitely do it again, but I would like to go to a different one. You know,
Okay.
I could see it being a seasonal thing for me in my life.
Well, if we were
It's
gonna
just
go,
corny enough.
yeah. If we were gonna go back to one, we'd go back to the second one.
Yeah, the second one was better.
Bigger, yeah. Yeah.
What I would love to do is like go into like different towns,
Uh-huh.
different seasons, different cities and stuff like that. You know, when we take trips because around that season, you know, they're up and running, and find a corn maze. See what they got. See
Yeah.
what creativity they got.
I never had a corn dog until like a couple years ago.
Really?
Yeah, and I actually thought they were really good.
The ones that you get when the first time, so the first time I had one was at a fair. Those were really good. Those are the only ones you should eat, not the ones you buy at the store, because the ones in the ones that you microwave in in your house suck. But I don't eat hot dogs. I don't mess with that stuff. I don't eat blended processed meat. Like I try not to. I stay away from hot dogs. So yeah, not my thing anymore. But I liked them when I was younger and I went to a fair and they were good,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
you ain't never see me eat a hot dog, a corn dog, any dog.
So today, ladies and gentlemen, I am drinking carbonated, I think it's ramune drink. Carbonated ramune drink from Japan. This is the label, a nifty label. It's like a big, strong, like bodybuilder with flaming hair. And it says super. Apparently, this guy is Super Saiyan. Well, I think that's how you say it. And this is yuzu flavor. And I looked up yuzu, and it looked like one of the most unappetizing fruits I've ever seen in my life. But who knows what the juice tastes like? So
Mm.
the ramune is the distinction of having this different kind of top. If you see the top of the bottle is, it's got a weird shape. This is all glass. And so what you do is that you find a place to peel back this plastic. Go this way. Peel back the plastic like this. So I'm peeling back the plastic that's around the top, and I'm pulling that off. And so when I pull off that plastic, there's a plastic top at the top. So if you take a look at this plastic top right here, it's just a piece of plastic, and it's got this on the interior of the cap. All right, and if you look at this bottle with the soda in it, there is a marble on the top. All right, that marble is there, so the soda can't come out. All right, and so then you take this piece, and
This is like a Japanese soda.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you push this down. Hold on a second. So can't do it on the camera. Oh, oh, wait a second. I know what I did wrong. I didn't take this piece out of here. So you got to take this out. of that ring. Okay, so you're left with this. So then you put it here in the top, and then I should leave it on the table. Then you kind of push it down like that, and it pushed. I don't know if you can see the marble, but now the marble's in the bottle, and now I can drink it. And I could take or leave yuzu.
You know what's great about this whole thing
What?
is that I bought a Japanese soda around when I was a teenager, and it had exactly the marble and everything, and I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. So when I got home, because I went to a Japanese market in the city, so when I got home, I was so frustrated because I ate everything else, and I just took a knife
Uh-huh.
and I just cut on the top. I was just like, I can't, I don't know how to do it. I didn't think of a YouTube video. I just wanted to get the drink, so I cut the top with a knife. Um, this is the first thing you've ever did that was actually important to me to know. Like I actually
Okay.
cared to see. So congratulations. I actually watched this one happen.
All right. You actually. All right. Well, that makes me feel
I was like,
better.
you taught me something on this one. I was like, oh, that's how
Oh,
you do that.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
you basically gave a tutorial.
as you were explaining that, I actually think that I do like yuzu. Now that I've
What does
had
it taste like?
couple sips. And do you ever have a star fruit?
Yes, but I never had it in juice form.
So you know how it kind of has like a little tart and bitter. It can have a tart and
Yeah, I
bitter
like
taste
that.
at the same
Yeah, I kind
time.
of really like that.
Yeah, this has got that same. And to be honest with you, when I looked at the guy cutting into the yuzu, I wondered if it would have that kind of flavor.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Is this sold in the country or is that just solely a Japanese fruit?
Well, I bought this at FYE last weekend.
Okay.
They had all these
Okay. That was
different.
actually a fun drink.
Yeah,
Foreign drinks and stuff. Oh.
and you know there is a disclaimer on the bottle that advises you not to try to get the marble out of the bottle. So there are YouTube videos that show you how to do it, but
Yeah.
it does involve breaking the glass. So I'm wondering, since the warning is on there, and the Japanese, have you ever watched Japanese game shows? Like
Yeah.
where, they lure people into this, supposed to be like a massage chair on a ski slope,
I've never
and
seen
then
that one, but
uh
yeah.
and then so when they sit
There's
down
a
on
lot of Japanese game shows,
yeah,
so
the
I'm like,
massage.
which one is this one?
Well, let's see if I can find it. Hold on.
まずはお風呂から上がってきた青年。座った。そしてお金を入れた。カウントダウン開始。気持ちよさそうにマッサージを受ける青年。
So the guy
しかし
sitting
数
in
秒後に
this
とんでもないことが待ち構え
massage
ている
chair,
のだ。
put a coin in, and it tips backwards to the outside, and he starts sliding
なんとこのマッサージ機、壁ごとひっくり返り、いきなり白人の世界が放り出されてしまうのだ。次にやってきたのは年配の男性。お金を入れた。カウントダウン開始。この老人、小銭を料金ボックスの上に置いた。このマッサージをあと数回受けるつもりなのだろうか。いきなりの事態に呆然とする老人。何が起きたのかとスキーヤーも呆然。しかしその老人、スキーヤーの注目を浴びながらもすごすごと入り口へ歩き出す。続いてやってきたのは2人の若者。入れた。そしてカウントダウン開始。気持ちよさそうにマッサージを受ける2人。右と左の選択が彼らの運命を変えるとは知る由もない。 なんか光ってるけど。
He holds on. Look at it. Look at go down. Look at
なんとこの男、椅子にしがみついたまま戻ってきた
that.
の
Here
だ。
comes back and stays right in the side. Now you're gonna see this,
さらにグレードアップしたマッサージ機を設置。その名も超スーパーマッサージ機エクスタシー。果たしてどんな仕掛けがあるのか。
Wait till you see what they did with this video.
何の疑いも持たずマッサージ機に座る青年。そしてお金を入れカウントダウン開始。どうぞ、マッサージ機が回り出した。一体この後マッサージ機はどうなるのか。
Just turn around. Now it's changing the law and our jets are coming out of it. It goes down a ramp outside.
火を吹いて声を飛ばしたマッサージ機はなんとそれに大変身。真っ裸で発進した青年はスキーヤーたちの間をうまく滑っていく。そしてジャンプ次はこの青年。カウントダウン開始。マッサージ機が回り出す。しかし青年の友達は助けを続けずただ見てるだけ。さらに全裸の青年を乗せ華麗に雪上を滑っていく。がその時クラッシュ。午後6時リフトも。
So what do you think?
Wow. Wow.
So I bring this up to say, Japanese game shows. If you've never seen them, I mean, there's another one that where they roll a cannon. They break into people's houses and they roll a cannon into their bedroom and they shoot off the cannon. And yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that people didn't have heart attacks. There's another one where they drag this man. They carry him out of his house in his mattress. They tie the mattress to a horse, and they hit the horse, and the horse starts running, and the guy wakes up being dragged through a field on his mattress. There's another one that I saw where this guy was swinging in a bathing suit over a cauldron of either hot oil or water, and every time his partner got a question wrong, they would lower him enough to skim across the top of the boiling liquid.
Wow.
And so it just surprised me that this Japanese soda would have a warning on it. I would figure they would put people on TV and whoever got the Ramune marble out without getting impaled by the glass would be the winner.
Yo, what's crazy about this is how like brutal and like Japanese culture is, because I've seen some of them and they look really colorful and weird. So I didn't understand it. I was like, this is weird. That's the first one I ever saw that I was like, y'all cruel. Like they use their technical intelligence and creativity to just like pull out the wildest. I'm like, that you can do that? You could just make a fake wall and have it flip with a massage chair. That is, and then they did it to the old man. We would never do that in this country.
Yeah.
We would never do that to an old person in this country.
No. No.
And then I was like, damn, they look as skinnier than me. I'm skinny dude. They look skinnier than me. I was like, damn.
Well, their laws, their tort laws, whether you can sue or not, must be different than here in America.
Way different. I don't get the game show aspect. What's the game part? How do they win? Getting flipped.
That I don't know. I mean, it just might be a show, but people just refer to like all these crazy videos as Japanese game show. Like the one with the boiling liquid. That definitely was a game show.
That's a game show. That's a game show. Scary as hell to be like swung over boiling water, but like that's a game show, right?
But you know what the funniest part of it is like if you think you're following, you think you're following along enough. So like there's like the one where they're wheeling the cannon into the bedroom. Like there's somebody down in the corner of the screen, right? They're showing and they're like and you're like, okay, that might be his sister or his wife or a
Yeah,
cousin.
somebody like a family member.
Like
It's like
put
I'm gonna
and
prank this person.
the cannon goes off and like these people like are like holding their chests like wondering like what this am I gonna die, and the person in the little square is like, oh. It's just-
So it's terrifying. Yo, you could lose your hearing messing with cannons. Like that's crazy that somebody's playing with cannons in somebody's house. And where are they shooting the ball towards? Like, is
well,
it just
there's
a
no, I
blank?
think it's a blank, but
Is a blank.
it's just
Okay.
gunpowder, but still.
Is this game that's terrifying.
I mean, it's a can.
Terrifying.
I mean, it's not like a little tiny cannon. It's I mean, it's not a
A
huge cannon,
official
but
cannon. It's
it's
a
a
real
cannon. It's
cannon.
a cannon.
It's a
Yeah,
it's a real ass cannon.
it's
That
not a
is
cap
it's
gun or yeah.
no, not a BB gun. It's a fucking cannon. Wow, I love the Japanese culture, but I don't love that part. I would not want to be in a country where they could do stuff like that. Maybe I gotta watch some more Japanese game shows. You ever seen anything in other countries? We gotta find some. Yeah, we gotta
Yeah, we'll
find
have
some other
to.
games.
Maybe we could start looking for stuff and uh maybe start setting it aside, putting it in a file, letting it pile up for the
Let,
next season.
let's
Because
go.
this is the penultimate episode of season 3,
Mm,
and next week will be the final episode of season 3. And I'm thinking about coming back in August, but
okay.
I'll make up my final. I'll make my final decision because I don't know if I want to take 2 months off.
Mm. I mean, hey, hey, you know you got a few heads to rip off somewhere. You know, tell us all about it when you come back. You might
Hopefully,
miss telling
I
them
will
all
be
about
more
your
relaxed. Maybe I'll come back
piece.
in July.
Every season, you say this, and every season
Well,
somebody gets yelled at.
every season I hadn't left the AME church.
Good point. Blaming on my people. I get you.
Well,
I do
yeah,
the
I'm,
same.
I'm just saying that I do have significantly less to concern myself with at this point. I don't
Yeah,
even know.
that's
I don't
good.
even know in the next. We have to have a meeting. I think we're having a meeting on the 31st to set a preaching schedule. So presently, there's 4 people available to preach, maybe even 5. So it looks like I won't be delivering a homily more, but once a month.
For the new position.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
ordained
How do
last
you feel about
Sunday
that?
as a deacon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Congratulations.
Um,
How was that?
oh, it was nice. It was nice.
Yeah.
Gritty came,
Okay.
and we had a good time. We went to an Indian market, Indian
Nice.
colony,
I know
which
he went crazy in there.
yeah. All right, so let's go on to another segment.
Let's go.
So Ron DeSantis announced that he was running for president yesterday.
Yes.
Did you hear about
Oh,
that?
yep. I've seen the Twitter. I've seen it on TikTok. I've seen it on some other news things, Google's. Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
I hear it.
So there's a lot of people talking about the fact that he did announce on Twitter and it didn't go so well. There were a lot of technical problems, and so what I would like to share and have we can discuss it, have you react to it, is Donald Trump's response to
Yes.
Two Ron DeSantis.
Let's go.
All right, let's go. So there's 3 different videos, and we'll stop in between each.
Got you.
Rob DeSanctimonious and his poll numbers are dropping like a rock. I would almost be inclined to say these are record falls. The question is Rob just young, inexperienced, and naive, or, more troubling, is he a fool who has no idea what the hell he's doing? We already have one of those in office. We don't need another one. We need MAGA, Make America Great Again. That's what we want. Make America Great Again. We have no choice. This is the last shot we've got at it. If we don't win this time, our country's in really big trouble. Thank you.
Rob DeSanctimonious.
Are you feeling triggered?
Okay. Okay.
That's one.
Big
That's
boy.
one.
Big boy. That was soft though. That was soft. Trump was hitting him with some soft jabs. Soft jabs. Let's see what else we got. What else we
Okay,
got?
all right.
You don't want a 1-2. Matter of fact, that's a good one. He's just like,
Well, I like Ron Sanctimonious.
I like that. I like that.
And did you notice he was calling him Rob?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing.
Yeah, nice little soft jabs.
You know he's doing it on purpose. He's
Of course.
demeaning him.
Some comedian is helping him write these jokes too. Or it can't all be off the head. I really want to write for Trump at this point. I feel like it would be exactly like as somebody that wants to do comedy, I feel like it would just push me to the next level if I write for Trump. Trump hired me. I got a lot of jokes.
If you could write for Trump, that would be
Oh,
like a skill.
It's
All right, here's the second one.
When the Ron DeSanctimonious facts come out, you will see that he's better than most Democrat governors, but very average at best compared to Republican governors who have done a fantastic job. How about the fact that he had the 3rd most deaths of any state having to do with the China virus or COVID? Even Cuomo did better. He was number 4. He shut down everything, including the beaches. Other Republican governors didn't do that. They kept it open. It was their choice. I gave them all their choice. The Democrats blew it big. A lot of Republican governors did a fantastic job. And look at Disney and what a mess it is. Could have worked out an easy settlement, but no, he wanted to show the fake news how tough a guy he is. He's not. And the whole Disney thing is really very unfortunate. Now thousands and thousands of jobs are being stopped, and a lot of people are very upset about it. Thank you.
So you see right there, that right there is where I could have came in. I would have helped him out because what I would have wrote for him is like, in the Disney thing, he's planning on running for president and going against me when you lost to a mouse. Come on.
Well, this is the show Rising, and what Robbie and Brianna point out is that that comment actually was had some substance to it. He was talking about the COVID response. He was talking about about jobs, and I think Brianna says later in this segment, that during the whole rollout, during the whole announcement, that DeSantis didn't talk about jobs once.
No, he is messing up the flow of income and workforces and the and altogether in that state. I mean, even the people who are in that state, I forget, some of the guys' names, but they're against it. This whole debacle with the immigrants and losing jobs and leaving the state, and now he wants to arrest them, and it's just like he's just making enemies even in his own state. It's too extreme now. He's getting up there. Some people are trying to take his side and say he's bringing in jobs. I'm like, where? I mean,
I don't know what the
Disney is about
are.
to put a lawsuit against him. He's not winning that.
Well,
he's
you
not
never
going to
know.
win a Disney lawsuit.
Yeah.
He's not going to win a Disney lawsuit. They're stop. He is not winning a Disney. They made him look like a fool. You think they're not prepared? Disney would never do it if they didn't know they was going to win. He lost his stamina. Now they're just going to beat on him like a little.
Okay, well, we'll wait and see. All right, you ready for the third video?
Let's go.
All right. Now, what really made me laugh about this video is that you can hear Robbie laughing about it underneath the video.
In December of 2017, Ron DeSanctimonious was polling at 5% in the Republican primary for governor of Florida. 5%. DeSantis had virtually no endorsements and was being drastically outraised by Agricultural Commissioner Adam Putnam, the widely viewed favorite. He was going to win. He was going to win easy. He was way up. Ron had zero chance of winning. On December 21st, 2017, a man named President Donald J. Trump endorsed in support of Ron DeSanctimonious. His polling skyrocketed, and DeSantis won the Republican primary 57-37. He was down so many points, and all of a sudden he wins by 20. He was already looking for jobs. But he did it because of President Trump. Thank you very much, Ron. Thank you very much.
You could hear it that well.
Hey, I heard the laughing, and I was laughing right along with him. He said, "I gave you bird food, and then you became an eagle."
Now that
Oh, my
actually
God.
is something that I had forgotten, that it was Trump's endorsement that brought him
It's
over.
Trump endorsement that got a lot of Republicans in the power seats that they're in right now. You know?
Well, that's true, but there's also a lot of others that didn't make it.
Yeah.
Like if,
But they didn't. They got jobs anyway once he was out, and then they had full power basically over
well,
everything.
some of the people that he endorsed in the midterms didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
And he really didn't.
Oh my God.
He celebrated the ones that didn't win. It didn't say a word about the ones that didn't. And if he did, he blamed something else for their loss.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ronnie boy, that's what's gonna be a new T. Hey yo, Trump, next new T-shirt gotta be Ronnie boy. All I need is $1 for the copyright. For every shirt, there be $1.
So if the election were tomorrow, and out of all the people that have announced who they're running for president, who would you vote for?
Oh my God. There's so many levels to this. Like there's parts of my brain that says just give it back to Trump. Listen, here's the thing. If the Democrats are absolutely sure that they're just going to give it to that they're going to just make Biden run, right, and they don't want anybody else to run, right? They feel like they're going to give it to Biden, and Biden is going to be the clear option for them. I'm just going to look at the Republican side, truthfully, and it's going to be because it's all about the lesser evil type of situation, right? Unless there's for a miracle a third party candidate that's like Kennedy. Is he third party?
No, he's running as a Democrat, unfortunately.
He's running as a Democrat. So he's actually running.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's somebody I want to see way more of. I mean, did they confirm that they were actually going to do the meeting and the debates? Because I'm hearing
I
different
thought
things
that
about
I
it.
heard that they would do a debate, but I don't don't quote me on that. And by the way,
Yeah.
I meant to do this at the beginning of the show. Last week I was talking about the Dunham Report.
Yeah.
That was my mistake. It was the Durham Report.
The Durham
Report. Yeah.
Okay. Well, depending on how it goes and what Kennedy says and some of the other Democratic Party members say and what they present, and I really I keep pointing this out for me. I don't want any I'm gonna pay a lot of attention to people endorsers. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be the main thing. But if there's everybody just taking endorsement from the same people and all the same, everything is ran by Vanguard and BlackRock. But if they're gonna just do this same game over every 4 years, then I'm just gonna play a game with them and I'm gonna treat it like the show they think it is. They're gonna if they're gonna make me watch this bull crap, then I'll just vote for my set. If I gotta if I gotta suffer anyway, then I might as well pick the guy that's gonna make me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
You
Well,
know, give me content for the next 4 years.
I mean, people ask, and I asked you just out of curiosity, but like when you ask us, New Yorkers,
Yeah.
who we're going to vote for president, it doesn't make any difference. The electoral votes are going to the Democrat. And, people always say to me, well, if everyone had the same attitude, then, the Democrat would lose. Well, number one, I would say, well, who cares? It really doesn't matter who's in there. And number two, I doubt it.
So you don't think there's ever going to be a point in history where America, like New York itself, is so outraged to people, especially I know New York City is a big puller. Albany,
Well,
I think
I'm not
Rochester.
saying it's impossible, but right now, I don't think I don't anticipate seeing presidential electoral votes going to a Republican in my lifetime.
Oh my goodness, I need to see that though, right? I need the state to be red just for a few years, because I think it would just change the game so well. I mean, you know what's interesting? I know that like where I'm at currently right now is very is like the small town I'm in is red and blue. It's like a good decent mix. Utica itself is a very liberal town for the most part. It's mixed. Like Utica is weird. Like Central New York is weird, right? Because it does fluctuate,
Well,
right?
I've heard
Depending on
people
where you're
say
talking
that
to.
if you chopped off downstate, from
Mm-hmm.
Westchester County down,
Mm-hmm.
say that we split,
Yeah.
South New York and North New York. North New York would be one of the most conservative states in the union.
I think so. I agree with that. I've heard the same thing. And, I mean, like, I haven't been in the city for a long time, so I don't know how people attitudes there. I don't know if they're still heavily liberal.
Mm-hmm.
Like that whole Trump thing really did have a Republican turnout. Well, it was interesting. Now, how many of those people were from the actual city? I'm not sure. But if there was our city people and it was that receive, it's going to be interesting. I think I really just want there to be, I mean, people keep saying independent parties don't get their voices, but I just think that the independent, whoever is running independent, they're just not using technology correctly. I think that I don't think you need mainstream media anymore to get your message out.
Yeah, you probably don't.
You really don't.
Yeah.
You really don't. And because they're on this decline of like respect and establishing their journalist integrity and everything else like that, you really don't need them anymore. So this is like a perfect time if you're really good with social media and you get a really good team together and you hit up these podcasters, you hit on, like shows like maybe The Rising, the Jimmy Dores, you know what I'm saying? The Redacted. You hit on these really popular podcasts, you can make a huge enough wave. And I mean hit everybody. I mean hit the Republican podcasters, the Democratic podcasters, because believe it or not, a lot of small time YouTubers and online content creators, TikTokers, they get way more views than the actual stations that people watch, channels that they watch.
The independent people are getting more views than CNN, MSNBC, Fox.
You don't need them anymore. So this is the perfect time for an independent person if you really, really want it.
So before we get too far away, as you said, an independent person, I heard, at first from you as third party.
Yes.
So
third party.
I was going to play a couple videos as a segment, but I think now would be a good time to play this video. This is a video made by Misha Paulin. She's one of the producers from Jimmy Dore, and she's been putting out a video every now and again, and they're really quite good.
When is it okay to vote third party? A, when the DNC and GOP candidates are both evil. B, when the third party candidate best represents you? C, never? Or D, when there's been a murder? I feel like the answer is A and B, but that's not an option. If you get this right, you will have $500,000. If you miss this question, you will walk away with $5. I'm gonna go with B, if the third party candidate best represents you. Final answer? Yes, final answer. The answer is C. It is never okay to vote third party. What?
Now, why do you think is she and I'm obviously it's a comedic skit, but why would you think somebody would say it's never good to vote
Well, I
for a
mean, that's
third
the
party?
narrative that they've been, that they've been pushing, to
Pushing, yeah.
convince so many people that a vote for a third party is a wasted vote. And, I mean, my point all along, even when the third party candidates have, accumulated very low numbers, is it wasn't a wasted vote because they represented what I believe.
Yeah.
And that that there is a threshold, especially when you're talking about presidential candidates, that if a presidential candidate can get 5% of the popular vote during an election, then they earn a spot in the debates, the next election cycle,
Mm-hmm.
the next 4 years, the next cycle in 4 years. So there are goals to be accomplished by voting for a third party candidate. And
It's funny to hear that. It's funny to hear
before you
anybody.
say that, uh, and the thing about it is that the Democrats are the ones that
Mm-hmm.
have put forth legislation both on the federal level and put forth and passed
Yes.
legislation in the state of New York that limit
Yes.
third party access to the ballot box. So uh, they can't win on their, or they can't maintain
Actual
their power
skills
on
and
what they
debate.
actually provide, and they do. They've got to
Mm-hmm.
suppress.
Yeah. And that's where the whole never vote comes in, because it's at the end of the time. Oh, you're saying never vote for the people that you're willingly and purposefully saying we're gonna mess up your chances. You're that scared. You're that scared of them. It really is. That's what makes me want to do it more. Is that I know these people are scared of it.
Right.
They're terrified of it. That's why they
Well,
say never.
and look, the Democratic Party really, because I think most of the third party threats, besides the Libertarian Party, but come from the left. The Democrats are, they're one of their main jobs is making sure that social justice dies. They embrace things and they make sure it doesn't go too far. And the same thing with liberal candidates. And look what they did
Yeah.
to Ralph Nader. They've
Yeah.
completely blackballed him out of the political arena. Nobody will answer his letters. And when the Democratic Party crushed and squashed Bernie Sanders, he wasn't, his heart was not in a political revolution because he caved, because he should have ran as an independent. But the thing is that let me think. Well, he told a reporter, Chris Hedges, that's his name, that he didn't want to end up like Ralph Nader. And that's why he
Mm,
didn't run as an independent candidate for the presidential election.
mm. They probably
So,
promised him like they promised Biden. They're like, listen, man, if you can survive into your 80s, we got you.
well, so instead of being a revolutionary, he's a lapdog.
Oh,
I think he's one of the
let
most
him bark
pathetic.
on his master's lap.
He's going down in my personal history as one of the most pathetic people I ever thought that I admired.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Anyway,
Can't wait for that
anyway.
interview one day. Really hate you, Bernie.
Yeah, I really despise Bernie Sanders at this point.
You make me
And
sick.
and I think it's hilarious
What are you, a Jew?
that he's even uttered the words that he was considering running again. I mean, come
Oh no,
on.
he said
I hope
no.
I hope somebody around him is like, look at Bern. You got to maintain the shred of dignity you have left.
No. Take your millions, sit your ass down on a beach and disappear.
I mean, if he runs again, I mean, he just might as well walk around in a diaper because he
Diaper in the robe.
has no dignity.
Do you hear about, funny enough, you made me think about this. You hear about the guy that drove the U-Haul truck into the gates of the White House?
Was it happened recently?
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear.
Damn. Real quick, let's pause real quick to see if you can find that video on YouTube. Yeah, let's see if you can find that.
Breaking news right out of Washington. This new video of a frightening situation playing out near the White House. A U-Haul truck has crashed into a security barrier protecting Lafayette Park. Investigators are now looking into the possibility that this might have been an intentional act. The Secret Service says the U-Haul's cargo area was empty, but an officer pulled what appeared to be a Nazi flag from the cab of the truck. The driver now facing a number of charges, including threatening to kill, kidnap, or inflict harm on a president or family member.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content by...
Wild stuff. Now, I've seen a few other videos from different angles, like one guy showing it, like seeing it, and it was like there's skip marks on the ground because the guy was just ramming into it back and back and back. I was like, good Lord, dude, he was really and I was like, I was sitting there, I found it to be both disturbing and like fascinating, right? Because it's like every time I see something with a Nazi, I'm like, wow, there really are people in this country really to believe in this bull. This is fascinating.
Well, you know, the only
fascinating.
The only positive thing I can think of is that I wished he had made it in and got the Nazi flag on top of the White House.
Oh my goodness. Don't say that on this show. I'm not going down with you on this one. In my head, I said it was hilarious and I saw the image and I agreed. But out loud, I will say, well, no, we do not condone.
Do not necessarily reflect those of Maurice Young. This is me and me only.
Are you crazy?
Well, I think it would have been appropriate. I mean, since we're funding Nazis in Ukraine.
Do you understand? This is a good point. But do you understand? The closer they get, the faster my blind ass gets a gun. Like the faster I get a gun. I'm pretty in a. Listen. I do not walk around be angry at white people. I don't feel like I'm going to harm y'all. I don't feel like y'all going to harm me. But if I can't tell who's a friend or foe anymore,
well, I mean, if the state of New York did split into North and South New York, I would be really careful living where you're living because they might have you out in the field picking summer cotton.
It's so funny. This is nothing. That's a great joke, but I really hate the idea that people think like there are real people out there that's like, yeah, I'm conservative, so I don't like black people. That's not what that means. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a very conservative person myself. I'm like, I do not think as a conservative mindset, having a conservative mindset has anything to do with color or anything else at all. And the more I get older, the more I'm like, be more conservative. I don't really give a fuck about people as much as I thought I did. I'm like, once you started changing my language, I was like, I was like, I might be a real conservative, half blind guy sooner. I'm like, strap your boots, get ready to go.
Well, there's a video that I would like to play There's a video I would like to play when we were talking and we were joking, in the context of Donald Trump's humor.
Please.
That Donald Trump is one of the funniest
Funniest.
individuals out there. Um, I know that makes a lot of people bristle,
Oh, get
but
over yourself,
I was wondering if you saw this TikTok,
please.
and I'm going to play this for you now.
Is Donald Trump fit to be president?
This is the way I'll answer that, Geraldo, which is, if you believe in his policies, he's what he's advertising is his policies. He's the last person who could actually execute them and achieve them. He does not have the discipline. He does not have the ability for strategic thinking and linear thinking or setting priorities, or how to get things done in the system. It is a horror show when he's left to his own devices. And so you may want his policies, but Trump will not deliver Trump policies. He will deliver chaos and, if anything, lead to a backlash that will set his policies much further back than they otherwise would be.
He's right, though.
Yes.
He's right down on his mindset. He's right on the mindset. He's right on the strategic. There's no way in hell Trump is a strategic man. Strategic men don't move like that.
No, I mean, if Trump put the right people around him, then maybe, but.
Yes, but he got a bunch of nut jobs around him. Hire me. I can fight your wars for you. My strategies would be dramatic. They'll be. You thought the Trojan horse was a big deal. Wait until I make my strategies known. But he's fascinating because, like, he's not a chess player. But when we say policies, do any real president policies get actually pushed through? I don't feel like they do, right? I feel like they've all become this corporate puppet where no one's policies ever gets through, right? So that makes me, that's interesting. It's really like when he said what he said, I'm like, you basically really saying that you want him, like, when you say policy, he's not the man that's going to get the policy done. None of you are. Well, because any one of these corporations can say, "Well,
I don't know. I would disagree with you. I would disagree with you.
You think so?
I mean, the window of what the president can actually do is much skinnier than I think that most people think. But I was listening to an analysis on Obama when it came to Syria and Ukraine. That and they were comparing him with Trump. I mean, Trump articulated he wanted to pull all the troops out of Syria. He articulated an anti-war message. But the fact of the matter is that during the Obama administration, and please, don't think that I'm endorsing the Obama administration, because I don't like the fact that he killed so many people with drone warfare.
I was just about to say that.
You can't deny, things that he's done, and he did stand up to the neocons. Would not allow anything to escalate in Ukraine, and he wouldn't escalate in Syria. And so, I mean, you got to give credit where credit is due.
Okay.
That put President Obama at odds with some very powerful and cutthroat people, but he successfully did it. And the fact of the matter is Trump was not politically savvy enough to do it himself.
Oh, no.
But that's one of the things
he was taken as a joke from a lot of European nations, for example. Yeah.
I mean, if he actually had brought our troops back from Afghanistan and took troops out of Syria, I may have voted for him in the last election. But, he didn't follow through with those policies.
What do you think? Because I haven't looked at this, and maybe you have, and maybe we have to do a deeper dive on it. But when it came to Trump's connection to corporations and their influence on him, do you think they had more control or less or decent control? Because I know like Biden, even Obama, I definitely could see how a lot of corporations had a lot of influence in a lot of those decision making. And I mean, yes, Biden, I think on like a lot of human rights stuff, or like he did like there were some things that came out of it. I mean, but I feel like that was just taxes. Money was moving those talks.
Well, I mean,
But like every other talk conversation, but like how much of influence you think corporations have in Trump's in his last seating?
well, my opinion is that the corporations have so much control that we don't even see.
That I agree with that. That's
But
100% true.
I mean, Trump did perpetuate one policy he wanted to do by cutting taxes.
Hmm.
And
He did
then
do that.
and he did deregulate a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, so I don't know if that was actually corporate pressure or that was somebody that was in big business that wanted to deregulate going into office.
Yeah. And funny enough, that's you know, I mean, when we talk about Trump, maybe we should probably look more into that and Republican, Democrats, whatever. But people don't want to look into that because then you find both parties
Right.
dipping and dabbing
Yeah, we could
on
go
it. But
into a whole other show, because
seriously,
what comes to mind too is that Trump did impose the tariffs against China,
hmm
and people said it was going to be all doom and gloom, but it actually, I think personally it created some healthy tension. I think between the United States and China, some competitive tension. I mean,
and and
Trump,
you know what's funny about
Trump,
that? I like that you said competitive tension because I don't. You can dislike China however you want, but when we were approaching them from a competitive side, it only makes us because we're as Americans, we like being the best. We want to be the best in everything. Anybody being better than us, it's not allowed in our country. It's weird. We have a pride
well,
when
we
it comes
say
to
we're the best,
competition.
but we don't have anything to back it up.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The competitiveness with China actually, we was gonna have to step up or shut up. At
Well,
that
we
point,
gave them all
put
our
up or shut up.
industry. We don't have any
You
industry
know,
left.
listen, and
But
now it's to the
when
point
it
where we
came to
have to.
Trump and China, he didn't threaten to bomb them. That's this
Mhm.
president.
That's what I'm saying.
I
That's what
mean,
I'm saying. We didn't go straight to violence. It was more like we're gonna have to start figuring up guys with our own minds. We're gonna have to prove that we're the best. Now it's like we'll kill you. It's not showing that we're the best, guys. Once we go straight to war, it's like it makes us look crazy. Like why don't you just show the world that you're the best?
well, we're getting close to the hour, and so there's one more thing I wanted to do,
Mhm.
and then we'll pray. And so I don't know if you've heard of this. I certainly uh, haven't, but now that I've seen it, I think that perhaps maybe I might give it a go.
There we
So
go.
so have you ever seen the circle beard?
Mm, yes, I have
For
cartoon
those that are
characters like
listening,
that.
there's a guy here on the screen, and so where the hairline above the forehead is maybe about an inch of hair that goes straight across, and then it goes down to where the sideburn goes down to the chin, and then up around. It's called a circle beard. So here's this guy, and Mo, if you take
Yeah,
a
I see
look
it.
at some of the other models, there's another one. Um, and he looks uh
So they don't have no more other hair?
well, it's just he shaved everything but that circle around his face.
Oh my God.
And here's another one. He almost kind of looks like Chewbacca in a way.
This is a white thing.
And
This is a white thing.
oh my God, look at this poor man. This one kind of goes. It's not where the hairline, it starts at the forehead. It's maybe 2.5 inches back, and so it comes down to where the sideburn would go, but then it comes down to the back of the jaw and then straight forward to the chin.
If I seen you with this, Pastor Deacon, I would never talk to you again. I would think you were gonna shoot up a school. I would think you was trying to kidnap a kid. I would think you were a Nazi. I think you were just like jerking off in parks in the dark next to trees. I would think you were a weirdo. This is atrocious. This should never be. No one should ever do this. No one should do this. None of these men look good looking at all. Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's
the best one I ever seen.
You
It's the
think
best one
these
I ever
guys are
seen.
doing it as a joke, or do you think they're serious?
There's your people do the oddest things I didn't think was supposed to be serious.
Now the guy,
This is the odd thing.
the guy. Let's see. You would be looking at it. Would be the guy in the left corner with the light blue shirt on.
Yeah.
I think that he really thinks he looks good, and he thinks he's
No
cool.
woman is sleeping with these guys. No woman is sleeping with these guys. None. None.
So the circle beard is out.
Do that? You do that? You know what I would accept if it was just like you cut it and you still have the rest of your hair and whatever. And it's just like the circle and everything else like that. I don't think you give up. I don't think you give up the rest of your hair. That's ridiculous to me.
I'm hoping that I run into somebody with a circle beard.
I would think that every child in the neighborhood was in danger.
Do you remember what I said when we were
hide.
starting the show that I had to take it off the screen? I had to take that off the screen because I'll start laughing in the middle of the show. That's what I was talking about. So we end the episode the same way every time with a prayer. So let us look to God. And Father God, I just thank you for Mo and that, Lord. I appreciate the conversation, and that, God, we do pray for our country. We do pray for our leaders. And that, Lord, we are looking for somebody that would do right by the whole nation and with our international neighbors.
Who's also humorous.
And that, Father God, we ask your blessing on our families. We ask our blessing on those things that we wish to accomplish. And that, God, through the power of the Holy Spirit, I pray that all of us reach those goals we want to reach. And I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. You threw me. What did you say in the middle of the prayer?
And humorous.
Oh, I thought you said something about humor. Yes. Lord, we thank you for humor.
No, I wish our new president has a funny bone. He needs to make me laugh.
Yeah.
That's the only way to upset this bull crap. If he just makes me laugh every 10 minutes. I'm like, this guy's great.
Good night.
All right, Pastor. Good night.
boys, your girl's back to talk more today. We're rating men's facial hair. First up, we got the soul patch, 0 out of 10. Not gonna lie, it kind of looks like an armpit on your face. Next up, we have the mustache, 4 out of 10. You're either a creep or on a deployment. Either way, I want to pull out my pepper spray. Next up, we have the stubble, 69 out of 10 if it looks like this. Don't confuse it with the 5 o'clock shadow, it's very different. The goatee, 3 out of 10. You're definitely a divorced middle-aged man with skinny legs that sits in bars every night. The rounded beard, 2 out of 10. You're definitely just using this style to hide all of your chins. It's a no from me. Long beard, what in the Duck Dynasty hell is going on here? This is absolutely horrible, negative 12 out of 10. You definitely have food stuck in there from 3 months ago. Short box beard, you see this jawline right here? Sharp as 10 out of 10. Somebody please find him for me.